Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Saturday here in Melbourne. Of course, we'll go down the Princess Highway in particular, and of course go to Geelong in particular, and of course speak to the Geelong Buccaneers American football team. And of course, we've got four very special guests on the show to tell us a bit about it. Thanks all for you for joining us.
Thanks. Hi.
I'll get each of you to introduce yourselves and what position you would be playing on the field if you've got your season underway.
I'm Kylie. I normally play linebacker, but last year started playing quarterback. So I probably would have been playing quarterback and a bit of linebacker.
Hi guys, I'm Jasmine. I play running back usually and a bit of everywhere on defense.
I am Steph, and I usually play fullback on the offense and a bit of everything on defense as well. And sometimes I play on the O-line as well.
I'm Colleen, and I play linebacker.
Now, I'm assuming your season would have either finished or would have got underway. I always get confused between when your season finishes and when the men's ones finishes. But if your season was supposed to be finishing now, I guess how difficult has this year been considering most of Melbourne has been locked down?
Yeah, well, we were supposed to start training, I'm really bad with dates, a few weeks ago. And we were going to, but I think because of the big lockdown in Melbourne, the league didn't want some teams training, some not, and then kind of getting to a point where they're kind of ahead. I guess like the AFL did kind of a similar thing. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Halfway through.
We would be having fun, getting cold at training at night time and feeling better about life. I think that being physical and not doing that at the moment is really impacting everyone. Certainly things that we've talked about with our team.
Yeah, we were really looking forward to starting, so it was pretty disappointing when we couldn't.
Now, we've I guess now know that your season was supposed to get underway very soon. Are you optimistic that the season will eventually get underway?
No.
I think next year, I don't know if they're going to try and bring it forward or something. Gridiron Victoria did put some post out, but there's a lot going on, so that could change. But I think they are very keen to have something happen, but obviously not with everything. Lockdown-wise, it won't happen this year, I can't imagine.
They were talking about trying to have an early season early next year, but it just obviously depends on what happens in Victoria.
I guess lucky for yourselves down there that obviously now you're in stage 3 restrictions, but I guess prior to that, probably about 2 weeks ago, you would have had the luxury of what most Melburnians would love to have right now. But how have you been trying to do any training at all or anything during isolation?
We do a lot of gym stuff. We've got a lot of home equipment. I'm not going to see it here, but we got a lot of home equipment stuff that we've accumulated over the past 2-ish months, so we can still train. And we were going to one of the gyms in Geelong with Steph would come down with us, and we'd meet up and try and do something because you weren't allowed to do contact training, which obviously for our game is like 90% of it. So something like you can kick a ball, we could throw a ball, but you do it for 10 minutes and it's kind of done. So contact is a big thing for the game. So I guess trying to do some gym training for us has been the biggest thing.
Yeah, trying to keep a bit fit. When the weather was nice the first time around isolation, I was doing a lot of walking and trying to jog. But as the weather got worse, it just got harder. I've got 2 young kids, and trying to, go out for a walk when it's pouring rain just doesn't happen.
Yeah. I just have been doing a lot of online home programs and that sort of stuff. But in terms of team training, we haven't been able to do anything like that, especially now that we're not allowed to go to anyone's place or anything like that. So yeah.
Now obviously this is I know it's last year, but everyone seems to be a long time ago. Tell us, how did you go last season?
We actually did really well.
towards the end, I think we gelled a lot. We had a lot of girls. So we had like a core group of Geelong girls, and then because there's a lot of teams that didn't get up and running, well, you came from Ballarat, so we stole a lot of people from other. A couple of get borrowed. No, we're not giving them back. And came down, a couple of girls from Ballarat. So towards the end, we all clicked and we all gelled, because we've been playing a little bit longer. So towards the end, we did a lot better than we did at the beginning, for sure.
Yeah, last year was my first season, so it was pretty exciting to start out, and it was pretty satisfying at the end when you could see that we'd all really got to know the game and each other, how we play. So I could see heaps of improvement across the board, and that was shown in our results as well.
Yeah, we made the semi-finals, so that was pretty cool. And the team that ended up winning the Vic Bowl, we only lost them in the semi by not a very big margin. A couple of touchdowns, I think. So, yeah, we were pretty happy with that because we went in like very underdogs.
Considering that was the game we lost to them at their home ground, wasn't it? Where it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
We had to have time off because it was thunder and lightning, and so if we're going to lose in the semis, it may as well be in a pretty spectacular way like that.
Yeah.
Trying to throw the ball in that weather was not okay.
Now, I have to ask, is there one team that you love to beat once the season recommences next year? I've got a feeling.
Raiders.
Always the Raiders.
The Raiders, the very beginning, we've had a very love-hate relationship with them. Hate them on the field. Absolutely love them off. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
They were our biggest rivals the first couple of years that we kind of were finding our feet, and they've been playing 2 or 3 seasons, I think, before we started. And yeah, we bet them in the Vic Bowl, and they went undefeated the whole season. We got them in the Vic Bowl, and they were absolutely devastated, and we just like to rub it in that little bit more. So yeah, love the girls off the field for sure, but absolutely hate them on the ground. They're just awesome football players, and they just
make it hard for us.
Yeah, love to beat them for sure.
So you did like a New York Giants to what they did to New England a couple of years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe we should change our name. Geelong Giants. Hey, the Geelong Giants really works.
Now, tell us a bit about the team itself, and is there a couple of players we should watch out for in 2021? And of course, you can't include yourselves.
Oh, I was going to say all 3 of these girls for sure. Yeah, it's hard to make that judgment until we see, because the numbers fluctuate so much from year to year. It's really hard to make that call.
I know you said we can't name players here, but I think like Kylie especially, she played only 3 games as QB towards the end of last season because we lost our original QB. So I think having a full pre-season and season under her belt, it'll be really exciting to see what she can do and lead the team in once we all get gelled and know her style of playing quarterback.
Absolutely. And trying to find some new girls as well. We're always on the lookout for growing the team, which is really hard in a minority sport like this. But we were lucky enough to snag Colleen, who, can I add, what was your award, Colleen, at the end of the season?
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm really excited to start off again, and I guess the plays that we have, not to give it away to anybody, but the plays we have, I would really like to see us be able to work to people's strengths more. Because normally we just kind of have, this is the stock standard play, you jump in or I jump in, or even Steph or even Colleen or anybody, everybody will go, okay, this is what it is. I'm really, really keen to try and play certain plays to people's strength and give people the ball that haven't necessarily had it so much. And, like people like Kenny, one of the girls who plays, she's played for a while now, and she doesn't get much of the ball, and I really like to pick different plays and put it in a different way where we can give her the ball. like she's got the skill there. We just need to work around her for particular plays. Like the same for everybody else. Like it'd be really, I can't, like that's the thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think we've got such a diverse group of people that can play really all over the field. Like we've all said, we've all played on defence and play all over the place. I think once we start training again, and as Kylie says, knowing those particular plays, it's going to be a fun next season, that's for sure. Yeah.
Now, how did all you get involved in the sport, and why did all of you choose it?
I only moved to Geelong at the start of last year, and I was looking at getting into sport just to get to know people as well. Initially, I was looking to join a rugby team, but we don't have a women's rugby team in Geelong. And I saw just an advert for the Bucks on Facebook for a information day. So I thought, I'll check it out. American football sounds pretty cool, and yeah, fell in love with it.
We didn't scare you off, so that's good.
Not yet.
Nah, you're hooked now. You never leave.
Yeah, it's a bit of an addiction. I love it.
And I guess Kylie and I started at the same time. So we heard, you knew some of the members as well, Kylie, I think.
Yeah,
my husband was playing for the men's team, so I heard that they were looking and interested in maybe starting a women's team, and they sort of put the idea out there saying, would anyone be interested in this? So I went along, and yeah, I was the same, hooked from the beginning.
I got on board. I played my first season in Ballarat for the Kestrels, and I got on board. My friend who I played netball with invited me along, and I was an AFL girl, and I was like, I'm not playing this sport. And she's like, oh, we're really low on numbers, and I was like, oh, come give it a go then. So yeah, my first season I only played a game, and in the second game I'd done my ACL. So yeah, I wasn't going to go back, but even in that short time that I had playing or training mainly, I just fell in love with the sport and the tactical side of it and how different it is to football and netball that I've played. So yeah, I wouldn't ever stop playing now.
I know I'm going to ask the most silliest question, considering I think pretty much answered it probably 2 or 3 questions ago, which was what would be a highlight throughout all your American football journey so far?
Oh yeah, Vic Bowl.
Yeah,
some of us went a part of that.
well, I got 2. So we won 2015 and 2016, back-to-back years of Vic Bowl. So that, I guess, is my achievement Geelong-wise.
I was just going to say I was pregnant for the 2015 season, so I wasn't playing, obviously, and I cried both happy and sad tears when they rang me from the cheering ground at the winning of their first Vic Bowl. It was pretty, yeah.
As soon as we were done, as soon as they gave us the trophy, there's a photo of 3 of us like holding it. As soon as I got that, I like ran to my bag and was like trying to find my phone. I was like, Steph, oh my God. She's like,
oh yeah, mine was just I was pretty excited to get Rookie of the Year last year. It was pretty nerve-wracking starting, and I tried pretty hard and was there every training, so it was nice having that recognised. And
you deserved it.
Oh, thanks. It was also a highlight just towards the end of the season, just seeing the improvement that we'd made from the start.
Yeah, I agree. And that whole feeling across the season, like even when we lost games this season, or that last season, even when we lost games, it felt good anyway, because we played our guts out and our hearts out. And I think that in itself was a highlight, just leaving every game feeling good about what we'd done as a team.
Well, this year I have to say a recruiting game where everything seemed to just fall into place, and that game was just amazing to be a part of. Like everyone played so well, and that was one of the best games I've ever been a part of, like the team gelling together so well. And we may not have been more skillful than Croydon at that stage, but we just, as everyone said, played our guts out, and it was just an amazing feeling, that game, to be a part of. And on a more personal level, making the Victorian squad in my second year and going over to Western Australia, that was pretty cool. That probably would have been my highlight personally.
Now, what does the sport of American football mean to you now, and especially playing down there in Geelong?
It's a good social aspect. It's very, very different to everything else. So AFL, like I've played AFL locally as well, and I've come from, like, I used to play roller derby as well. So that was the transition that I made. So it's just so different, and it's so diverse. Like, there's not many sports you can find that are literally for everyone, and it's very, like, personally, it's important that I think that everyone is, like, it's inclusive. There's literally, no matter your body shape, your type, if you're tall, if you're short, if you're bigger, if you're smaller, if you're stronger, if you're not as strong as her, but like, it's literally for everybody. Like, you'll be able to find something that you can do, and it's personally, like, it's such a struggle at the moment that we can't play. Because I've never missed a year since I've started, never missed a game, and it's eating me that we can't just go out there, do something. And it's a good, I think, like a brain exercise thing too, because you're going to think about so much. It's not one thing. It's like every piece of the puzzle has to work for it to work.
Yeah. I always describe it to people as it's almost like playing a physical chess game, because you really do need all those parts to work at the same time, and it's really strategic.
I think it's a lot like a family down here, especially like the women's team. Like, we all hang out together and that, and all have made really good friends. It's a really inclusive environment, not just on the field but off the field. And I found that really good to be a part of.
Speaking as a mum as well, the team is really supportive of that. Like, I do the single mum gig, so I'd bring the kids with me for training and games and that sort of thing. And sometimes they're a bit of a pain in the butt, and everyone's real understanding when I have to duck off. Not in the middle of a game, I wouldn't, but during training I have to duck off and put some people back into line. And yeah, like they said, really inclusive. Like, it was pretty nerve-wracking coming to a place where I don't know anyone, and everyone made me feel really welcome. And as for the game itself, I hadn't even watched a game of American football before I played, so it was it's introduced me to the sport as a whole, and really love it.
Now, for everyone that should get involved in American football, especially down there in Geelong, once we all get out of restrictions and lockdowns, what would be your advice for them to get down to Geelong? And whereabouts is your home field?
Our home field is in the suburb of Corio. So for all those people that are sort of western suburbs of Melbourne or sort of Lara, it's super, super close for them as well. So we have plenty of people that travel from, as far as Ballarat. Melton. Do we have people? Yeah, Ballarat. Yeah. So it's definitely, we are inclusive of everyone, as we've said. So we just encourage everyone to come down, give it a go. And even if you think you can't, you will, because we find a spot for you that will suit you and your skills, and we develop you. Like, we're all developing as we go.
Finish with a couple light-hearted questions about your teammates from last year. Firstly, any embarrassing moments by anyone on the field?
Seriously, we were talking about this last night, trying to think of something, and my brain is shot. I got no idea, but I was trying to find, Steph, you'll appreciate this if I can find the photo.
I'll bring up one that I just thought of. Oh yeah, there we go.
So I don't know if you can see this or not. So this is Steph, our first year. This is how Steph tackles, and I love it. And I said to her one time, it's aeroplane jelly.
terrible because when you're running at someone like this, they know that you're coming. It's not like you're going to surprise them. It's so embarrassing.
They can't go left or right. They can't go straight. Where are they going to go?
I'm just going to come at me like I'm offering hugs. I'm offering hugs on the field.
No, invite everybody.
Oh no! I thought of one just before one of our teammates, Lottie, who joined us last year, to that Croydon game that Jazz was talking about. Actually, showed up at the wrong time and tried to rush to get on the field, but she missed the cutoff of starting before half time, so she actually couldn't play.
I swear it was at 2 o'clock. No, it wasn't.
No, mate, we're on the field.
Comedian in the team last year.
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
I was going to say
depends what sort of humour.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. The dynamic changes, I think, where we are. If we're at games, I think it's different. In games, I'm probably too serious. At training, I think I stuff more. Sorry. And then go like Silly Sunday or something. Like Libby's pretty funny. Yeah. So again, Kelly, but it depends on what kind of humour you're talking about.
And we are constantly at training, all making each other laugh, much to the dismay of our coach, who is trying to keep us under control. Oh, sometimes we get yelled at just for having a little bit too much fun.
Best dancer or singer in the team last year?
Al used to sing in the change rooms beforehand, and she's got a mean little voice on her, actually.
I reckon dancer. I reckon it would be between like you or D.
Once I got a few.
Yeah. D. Another whole though. D's fine. D's just like she'd be like, yeah, well, I can't dance, so I'm not good at doing it.
She's always doing training.
Yeah. And the who started the row the boat dance? Was it D?
Ah, that's right. Get in the boat.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So we have this big boom box at training that we have, and that like everyone will bring their phones, and we made a big playlist that we put all these songs into. And there was some song that said something about, I don't know even how it came about. And then we were like, oh, if we did a touchdown, we should row the boat.
Yeah, get in the boat.
I did it once in the Croydon game, and I did it a little bit, and they got rid of the ball because I didn't want to get like flagged for it.
Yeah, because much like in which is it NFL, that they're not allowed. Well, they weren't allowed to do a choreographed celebration, so we're not allowed to either. So
we wanted like a role that do it, but you can't. Yeah. It's like choreographed
excessive celebration.
Yeah.
Now, we'll finish off with two final ones, which is, do either of you have a favourite NFL team?
Philly.
Yeah. World,
49ers.
Patriots.
Philadelphia.
Them because of the colour. I had no idea when I first started watching. It's like, I like that colour. Those guys are cute. So, yeah.
Actually, I definitely chose my team based on Kaepernick's abs. So, what can I say?
I picked the team on a player. Yes, and then the next year, he got drafted elsewhere. And I was like, fine, I'll go. Because that was when I was playing running back. And I was like, okay, I like their running back. And then he moved again. I was like, oh, I'm over it. So, Philadelphia. Even though all the players
Philly.
and they bet the Patriots. So,
yeah. Oh, don't worry. My Titans beat them too in the play. And of course, we'll finish off with one last one, which is, do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Oh, you're laughing, so you do.
I'm laughing because my only thing, we were talking about this last night, my only thing is that I like to wear my fluoro pink sports bra. If I'm not wearing that, we're not going to win. It doesn't work, by the way.
The thing that you were talking about last night, Sian used to do, in our warm-up, it was the stretch where you like stand on one leg and then you pull your leg up behind your bum and you're going to like try and balance. If she balanced, she'd be like, all right, we're winning. I can balance.
And that one was actually true though. That actually like worked every time. So
in terms of like, before a game, we all like just put music on in the change rooms and just chill out, do each other's hair, which sounds really cliche, but it's kind of hard to play and wear helmets with long hair, so we braid each other's hair and that sort of stuff. So. Some of us.
I used to, I still do. I always wear at least one sock inside out or both. Yeah.
Did not know that.
I came from netball and then I've just continued it through. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, Ori, thank you so much for joining us. It's awesome having all four of you on the show. We'll definitely make sure we get down to Geelong, or when you come to Melbourne, we'll definitely make sure we'll come out to a game and support the Buccaneers. And hopefully 2021, it will be the year of the Buccaneers, very similar to what hopefully happens in the NFL.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Thanks
for having
us.
No worries. And of course, that's the Geelong Buccaneers women's American football team. Of course, in 2021, hopefully for everyone out there, make sure you get down there and support the mighty Buccaneers in 2021. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the Saturday Lockdown Edition.